everybody. I hope that you're all doing well. What I was seeing in the pre-shuffle was 10 of Swords and 3 of Cups and 3 of Pentacles. So what it looks like, and we're gonna pull cards obviously, see what else is going on here, is that you could have been going through like kind of a tough time. I don't know if it was just like a tough time in general or if like something particular was going on, but it seems like whatever that was, it's closing out now. And then seeing that 3 of Cups can be like, maybe you're connecting with someone, or you're having a good day, or you have something going on where I feel like it goes from maybe feeling like you were on your own or just like going through something that felt difficult to then things turning around and being happy, or you at least feeling like you're getting a chance to connect in a way that feels kind of relieving. And then I was also seeing 3 of Pentacles too. So this can be something like somewhat ongoing that's going to be happening. And maybe even too, you're just learning from a situation or being really present to a situation that you feel happy within. Even if this is like just an interaction that you're having where you're like really present to the interaction and you feel a lot of gratitude in that moment. This can be something as well that you're working with where you're realizing the sense of connection maybe that you had been looking for, or finding support maybe at a time, even if it's not specifically about like what you're going through. This can just be like, I don't know, having a nice conversation where you feel connected in a way that feels good, that just makes things that much easier. The next, the cards that we have out here are 10 of, I'm sorry, I feel so distracted. I whacked my hand earlier and I'm seeing that there's a mark on it, which I had no idea about, but I do bruise very easily. The cards that we have out here are 10 of Cups, and we also have the Chariot. So 10 of Cups is about us figuring out what we are going to be connecting with on a more long-term basis. And this can even mean choosing something that you feel happy about the choice that you're making. 10 of Cups is about what we choose that is going to be reflective of what we are looking to connect with emotionally, and when we connect with that, feeling a sense of fulfillment. And so this can mean that you're going through some type of situation here. When we have the Chariot, usually there's some stuff that we're trying to navigate through, things that we're trying to figure out. And because the Chariot is connected with Cancer, can be connected with home, can be connected with family, it can be connected with friends, your loved ones. This can be your emotions in general, like the things that you care about, your perspective, what's going on in your internal world. And so there can be something that's been going on there that you've been figuring out how to navigate. And I feel like because of having the 10 of Cups here, it can indicate that you're doing all of this to ensure that you feel happy with the things that you're connecting with and happy with the things that you are choosing, regardless of what you have to face, because you know that it's going to be worth it to you, because that's how you connect with what you want. So of course it's going to be worth it. It's like if you know that you're putting in the effort into something that's worthwhile, into something that you know you're going to be happy with, then it's worth making the effort, you know, rather than making all this effort to get to somewhere and be like, what did I do all of this for? This is like really knowing what's right for you and knowing what's in alignment. And this can only come from a place of you truly being tuned in. I am seeing an Ace of Cups here. You have a new chapter that is starting. I'm seeing there was stuff that you had to figure out in order to get there, in order to get here. This can be too about choices that needed to be made. Okay, so for some of you, this is coming about very unexpectedly. When you have something like an Ace of Cups in the Tower, this means, first of all, Tower's not going to be something where you feel like your life is falling apart, as far as this is concerned anyway, okay? When you have Tower and you have something like an Ace of Cups is going to be an opportunity that you get to connect. So this is a new chapter that's beginning within a connection. Having the Tower there can be, this comes about very unexpectedly, or like you didn't see this coming, or like this really caught you off guard. But because it's connected with an Ace of Cups, this is an opportunity rather than something being taken away. This is like something appearing and saying like, hey, the door is open for you, but you weren't expecting that for some reason. So this can be feeling like it kind of comes out of nowhere. I feel too like you've been making all of the right choices for yourself, like really thinking about what you're going to feel good with at the end of the day, and like continuously choosing those things regardless of what it asks of you. Because when we have Chariot, again, like there's stuff that may not be easy to navigate, yet knowing that you're being motivated by the right stuff, so it's always going to be worth it for you. And it seems like in you moving through whatever this is, it's like then that's just all of a sudden there. Like, good job, you moved through this, and now the Ace of Cups is there. Now, I don't know why it feels like this comes out of nowhere, but this definitely will be like you weren't expecting this to be happening. Let's actually see why. Let's clarify. Why wouldn't you have been expecting this? I'm seeing somebody come through quickly. Maybe it just seems abrupt the way that this happened. Okay. I'm seeing Six of Wands coming out. So Six of Wands, this is interesting. So we have Six of Wands coming out, and we also have Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. When we have Six of Wands is connected with putting in effort and then something going successfully, like you getting a win, or like your efforts end up paying off. Whatever it is, it's like it lands in the way that one wants it to land. So this means that prior effort had been being put in, but you may not have known what exactly was going to happen here. But when we have that Six of Wands, it shows that something really did actually go like the way that one intended for it to go. Like one is hoping to get some sort of good outcome. I'm going to put in the energy, I'm going to put in the effort, and this just happened to be a situation where a win is occurring from that. Now, I don't know what exactly that means. I don't know if this is about like some other person coming through, or this is about just you having this new chapter and this is what you worked for. Maybe this is what everybody's doing here. Having that Ace of Swords, I do feel like this is a moment where you see the effect of the way that you've been utilizing your energy. So you kind of see that like when you use your energy, when you focus it on a particular thing, what can then happen because of that? And having that Ace of Swords there, it just feels as clear as day. Is there any other reason why this would be unexpected? Like maybe you didn't know how something was going to happen. Okay. This seems like having to move through something extremely challenging where there could have been a lot of doubts about actually making it out of that. It's like when somebody's in like a lot of drama or a really like sticky situation, or just something really difficult or really like karmic even, how sometimes, you know, people kind of remain within that. That can be part of the reason why this is unexpected. Because it can be something where it's one of those situations where you don't know if somebody's going to come out of it or not, and somebody actually happens to. And this can also be with you too. Keep that in mind as well if this is your energy. Because I'm seeing the Devil and I'm seeing Six of Wands. So it really is coming out of something that, you know, sometimes when we get stuck in those cycles with the Devil, sometimes some people don't come out of those cycles. Like they're in it for life, not because they have to be, but because it's like, it's really difficult to get out of those cycles. So that's why I feel like this was kind of unexpected, because it seems like against all odds, somebody like beating the odds and coming out of something. This can be something that somebody was very, very terrified of doing. They were very, very scared of doing it and could have like really had a hard time with this. Because what I'm seeing is that if whatever this is connected to, the person that this is connected with, this like surprising thing that's going on, one of the things I'm seeing is that if their perspective had not shifted, like if they had not opened enough to to gain more perspective of this situation, they would not be seeing it any differently than they were before. So there's something here on a spiritual level that like changed the game for them. And then the second thing that I'm seeing be going on with this is that the situation that they were in, they were not feeling empowered within it. And it can be something where, you know, when you find yourself in a situation and you're like, you can recognize that you don't necessarily want to be in it. Like, let's say that you're at a job that you absolutely hate. I don't think that this really has to do with it, but it can. But this seems more like a relational thing, but just for the example. Let's say that you're at a job and you start to like really hate it and you don't like going, and like your boss sucks and you just don't want to be there for any reason, and you don't feel passionate about it, and you're having like issues with your coworker, like whatever it is, okay? You don't like being there. You feel like it's sucking the life out of you. But you can be like, how can I find a different job? Like I need to put food on the table, or like I have to be able to take care of myself, or I have all of these bills and I don't think that I'm going to be able to, you know, when you're like stuck in a situation where it's like you don't want to be in it, but then you're almost like, how am I going to get out of it? It seems like this person was in one of those situations where it's like this really tests a person to see like what's going to win in that situation. And it can be all this like real life reasons why, where it's like rationally it makes sense, like just stay in the job because you have to be making money, like don't leave, you know? When it's like, if we really think about it, how many other jobs are there? Is it really like impossible to find another job? But it can be really difficult to transition out of something like that, you know, like just because the way that it's not the most feasible. Like if you're working all the time, how do you have time to go to like other job interviews and stuff? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it can be so difficult to break out of those situations. So that's why I'm seeing it be like, maybe it felt very unlikely for somebody to come out of it, but what I'm seeing is them coming out of it. And the way that I'm seeing this feels more like an emotional thing than anything, but there can also be like physical, tangible reasons why stuff was going on too. Like I feel like there was also something going on within the environment that could have had someone feeling like they needed to sort of stick with whatever that was, but now coming out of that seemingly against all odds. That's what I'm getting the vibe of this being. So yeah, I just don't think that you had an expectation that this was going to be happening. Seeing you be very surprised, very, very, very surprised. But this person's energy, whoever the Queen of Wands is in this scenario, because I'm seeing the Queen of Wands come out after the Tower, this is like somebody that's like, I knew I could do it. It's like one of those, it's one of those people. This person looks very confident. And maybe that's also the thing too, is that this person is in a space, and if this is you, you're in a space where you're believing in yourself. And that's what's allowing things to come together. So this is like, I'm reconciling with that part of myself that knows my own strength and that is connected with it. And I feel that sense of connection, and I make choices aligned with that. And that's just business. This was not an easy thing to move through emotionally by any means. But this also too, we have below 10 of Cups, we have King of Pentacles. This is about us choosing roles that we really do like, that we're in love with the roles that we're playing, that we feel so happy to get up in the morning and put on that outfit and do that job. And when I say do that job, I mean like this can be like a partnership, it can be a relationship, it can be like whatever it is that this role that you're stepping into. Having 10 of Cups above it is like, I love doing this. I feel so happy doing this. I feel a sense of purpose and a sense of connection when I'm here doing this. And so I actually feel like this feeds my soul every time I stand in this position and play this role. And then I'm also seeing Cancer, and I'm seeing King of Cups here. And this energy is about understanding ourselves, on an emotional level, connecting with our emotional intelligence enough to make choices that are going to be congruent with the depths of what it is that we are feeling. This Ace of Cups and Five of Pentacles feels like a highly unlikely situation. Bless you. O is over there sneezing. It feels like a highly unlikely situation. Because there could have been fear about what was going to happen with all of this, or like a concern. Kind of like before anything happened, knowing what the possibilities were here, and maybe even feeling like this was kind of a delicate situation. I also want to see why do we have Five of Pentacles underneath this Ace of Cups? So if Ace of Cups is a new chapter of connection, if we have Five of Pentacles below, this can be like, I feel connected with that, but I don't know how this is going to work, or like I don't feel really hopeful about this. And it can be for many reasons why we would feel that way, but I want to also clarify. Some of you, this is about being rejected, or this can be just like one not feeling totally at their best. Can be both of those things as well. I can see that mark on my hand. If you guys see that mark on my hand, just know it's me being clumsy. I whacked my hand into something earlier. Okay. The other thing that I'm seeing go on here is that this looks like a very big structural shift in one's life, but there can be a feeling that one really has to trust their inner guidance through this process, that it's like absolutely necessary to be doing that. It's kind of like, I don't need the physical structures to stay standing when I have the internal structure, because that's the real structure. So whatever else is going on, because I have the template within me, I can rebuild whatever it is that I need to rebuild, rather than feeling attached to the material structure around me. Because I have that innately within me, this can all go down and I will build what I need to build. There can also be a desire for some type of solace as well. Seeing that, this can be like craving some type of, the Hierophant can be something that we feel like can protect us and take us under its wing. And so when we're feeling like that, we can really seek something like this that feels kind of like all-knowing and all-powerful in some type of way, or just like somebody or something that we see as being an authority in some way. So this can also be something that's sort of looked at, and when we're in a spot like that, we can sort of gravitate towards something, because Five of Pentacles, right? Like we can feel like a victim when we're in there of something, of the circumstance, of whatever. And so we can look for something that's like a higher power of some sort, that we perceive to be a higher power of some sort, because these are going to be playing into the polarity. If you're feeling powerless, you're going to look for power. And this can be the ways in which we do that. And this can even be like something that's being dismantled, so it can feel kind of like an unstable time. Because I'm seeing someone, even though they're really trusting themselves, I'm seeing them also feel pretty anxious about this situation. It's like getting through it, but still like really having a hard time mentally. Just because of maybe how different this is. This feels like a new way of living, or like a new something. With that Ace of Cups and the Hierophant, it's like this newfound connection, like this new system that's in the process of being developed. But I'm definitely seeing this big, like, it's like watching something implode before your eyes, and like everything that meant, and like the structure of that entire thing within your life. And even though it feels like it's the time for this to be happening, it can still feel, and there's like a new chapter that's very much coming with this as well. It can still be a time when we feel kind of shaken up about what's going on, because it's like dismantling the infrastructure of your life in some type of way, in some type of very, very, very big way. Yet, I'm seeing the choice be made for one to really reconcile with what's going on with them emotionally and take the steps forward that they want to be taking, and not allowing the fear of this, of what is going to happen as a byproduct of that, get in the way of them doing that. So this is somebody that's like, they're really on a mission here. And even though they can be questioning a lot of things, whatever, there's this confidence of, I know that I'm going the right way. And I'm trusting that. And I may not know exactly how all of this is going to work out, but I know that this is what I have to do. And I know that within my heart. I'm totally confident about that. So that's what I'm seeing is going on here within the energy. Things really are going to be working out. I'm seeing there also be like, I'm seeing an energy that's very resourceful here, and I don't think that moving through this is actually going to be like the biggest thing in the world. I think that it can feel unsettling when there are structures that are being dismantled, yet it's also what allows us to come back to an even place within ourselves, rather than carrying that looming anxiety constantly, because we know that things need to be taken apart and they're not being. So this feels like really being able to reconnect with all of the aspects of self needed to, in order to move through. So to like free yourself to be able to move through this now and not be holding oneself back anymore. It feels like as one thing is being knocked over, like the next thing is being built, like kind of on top of that. So it feels like there's going to be some type of transitionary period that's connected with this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.